Okay, hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so as discussed, we are going to discuss two things. First, about how we to write a method that return the given input as a reverse number. And second, we'll discuss how we can use call by value or call by reference. While method invocation, sometime we can or we are passing some primitive data types, and sometime we can pass as a object. So let us start first. Let us we have a one input like any number, and number maybe any number, okay. And let us if you write your number, and that's you want to kind of reverse. Here I want to somehow reverse. Okay. So if by default any number, how to reverse? There are multiple approaches as discussed by one Balwant. Let's discuss some different. Okay. So what are the possibility? So for reversing number, you need a 5, then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. So we know key the modulo operator is return the remainder, and the remainder we can get the 5. So let us write one function like a static return reverse number reverse, and it will take one integer number. Okay. So as you know, if number is greater than 0, that means we can do something. And let's get your reminder with the using the modulo number modulo 10. Okay, and just it's out you are getting, and after that you can just divide number equal to number by number divide by 10, so that you can, in this way you can, okay, you have to return something. If any method you have specified return type integer, your method must return something. So here I'm not returning, so compiler give you error. You have to return. Let's initially I return 0, and I call this function. I call with the input number, and this will return the reverse. And let's print the reverse. So currently we have a return 0. So our reverse will print 0. But just want to check we are getting one by one value.
So here instead of println, we should print.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes,
got it.
you can do print, and then you have to just here append some kind of a column. Okay, comma, right? Print ln means new line, print means same line. Okay. So you are now you are getting the 5, and next time you're getting 4. So let's imagine what we want. First time you're getting 5, okay. Next time you are getting a 4, okay. So your input is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you want to output like a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? So you think you have a first number 5 and second number 4. Is there any way we can do this thing by 4? I will do it. If we have a 5, if 5 multiply by 10, then what we are getting the 50, and just plus 4, you will get 54. So now you have a number 54. Now you have a number 54, correct? Again you are getting the 3. So what we can do, just multiply by 10, multiply by 10, you are getting 54, 0, and just plus your this again new number 3, just plus 3, then you are getting the 5, 4, 3. Similarly, now we have a 543 number. 543 number, just multiply by 10 and you are getting a 5430, and just add next number. So this is one algorithm. You are just whatever your number getting, just multiply by 10 and add the number. So whatever you are getting. So this is the one logic where you can do reverse. Are you getting the meaning? What we are trying to say? Let's. Any question till now? Whatever the value we are getting, just multiply by 10 and next time you are just sum it. Next multiply 10, next sum it. Next multiply by 10, next sum it. Okay,
Yes, sir.
let's how to write the code. So let us you are getting this number, and as a key you can just multiply by r multiply by 10. Okay, so you let's multiply by 10, you get multiplication by 10. Okay, but question that if you do, you are only multiply by 10, that means you are getting the multiplication of 10, but in anyhow for each number you can multiply, but here not my solve problem. Somehow we have to add this number somewhere. So let us write, like if you take one variable like sum, initially take as a 0, and whatever the value get, whatever the s, just instead of just multiply s and plus your r number, whatever remainder. So let us just print here your whatever the your initial, your s equal to 0, then you are getting a remainder. You are getting the remainder r, and let's plus plus and print this your kind of a just take just sum. What is the next sum? Whatever the remainder you are getting, just plusing multiply by 10. So here just equal to s equal to. So now you notice first time your s, just so first time you are just getting s multiply by 10, 0, and first time getting remainder 5. So what is the plus? Equal to 5. Next time you have a 5 number, and just 5 multiply by 10, 50, and just plus 4. Next time you have a 54 number, s, just let's here just write like one line above, key what is your s, and just multiply by 10. Okay. Here you are just multiply by 10 and just plus your r, whatever the your remainder. Just plus r, whatever the r you have. So in this the simple way ki initially you are getting one value. Okay. So initially you have a 0, multiply by 0 means you are getting the 0, but remainder getting 5. Just you plus it If you plus it, you are getting the, if you just here plus it, and then you get like this. If you just plus it here, so you are getting the 0 and plus 5. Okay. Why what 0? What is the, okay? You are just printing R initially 0. Then you are, okay. Why I am print? Okay, double multiplication. This is also, this is also. So you are not right here. Just right here. Are you getting the sense what we are doing here? I am getting the number, just multiply by 10. You are multiplying by 10 and storing. Next time you are getting the number and plus. Multiplication 10 and plus. Multiplication 10 and plus. Multiplication 10 and plus. So
Yes.
now just you return this, whatever you have a sum, that is the, you can say a reverse. Instead of s variable, you can just change as a reverse. Whatever the name you can give, doesn't matter. In this way, you can also do the reverse. So there are multiple approach you can solve. So just you comment out this line and you notice uh, you can get the reverse. And even uh, sometimes someone say "Ki instead of writing this new variable, you can write same inside here instead of writing a new variable. And now just remove this. So now this is your logic. Whatever the number you are getting, until number greater than 0, what you are doing, you just is take one summation variable because you need to sum. So initially just 0 variable, and whatever the value, multiply by 10 and add the modulo. So whenever you are modulo, you are getting the new value. So in this example, our number was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now your number is greater than yes. Then what to do? S multiply by 10. What is S? 0. 0 multiply by 10? 0. Okay. Plus reminder. What is the reminder? 5. So you are getting the 5. Okay. So what is the output? Plus you are doing next time 5. So whenever your number divide, now you are getting the this number after division, right? Next time you are getting, what is the S? S is equal to 5. So 5 multiply by 10. Okay. Plus what is the next modulo? Next modulo you are getting 4. 4. So what will be the answer? 54. Next time again divide number, you are getting this 1, 2, 3. So your S sum become 1, 2, 3, 54, 54 multiply by 10 plus next reminder you are getting the 3. You are getting the plus 3, means you are getting the 5, 4, 3. This is your become S again S multiply by 10. S here 5, 4, 3, 5, 4, 3. Okay, and multiply by 10 plus what reminder, you are getting reminder 2 by 2. Then you are getting the 5, 4, 3, 2. Again dividing number, number become 1. Next time you're getting the S become 5, 4, 3, 2 multiply by 10 plus your reminder, you are getting the 1, 1. Next you are getting the your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again you are dividing number, number becomes 0, you are out of loop. So this is your S. So you just return this S. Now you are getting the reverse. So now Kushpreet, it's clear. This is the way you can reverse number. These are pure
Yes.
mathematical
Yes.
formula. You can apply any formula. Like Balwant have suggested power, you have some string. The one problem can be solved in multiple approach. Just you think different approaches. All are the correct. Anything you cannot incorrect.
How to think any approach.
Yes, just you need mm, paper and pen and try we have a number, how will do some calculation, sometime math. Similarly, this same concept here, instead of multiply by 10, he say why not multiply by here 10, here 100, here 1,000, here 4,000. This is the logic, another logic. Instead of multiplying here, the multiple approaches can be think. This is just pure mathematical, right? So let's explore some plus minus. Until you are not writing, you are not exploring, it's very hard to make some comfortable in the programming. Okay, so till now it's okay how to write the reverse using just primitive number. Let's see someone
Yes, sir.
ask. Let's one next question. Someone ask you can reverse the string. This is the primitive number. That is the good. Next time, let's ask you write the reverse for a given any string, any name, any character. So in those case, this logic is not work because this is your string. So can you just write one method that will take one input as a string? Let's key input can be like ABC. Okay, ABC. You want to reverse it. C, B, A. Or this is let's say D. Your output should be D. This is the someone can ask reverse for integer. Someone can ask reverse for your string. So this logic is not work for your string. So you have to think something different. How we can reverse on the given or your strings. So let's try it. Okay. Key this
That
reverse,
is easy.
that is easy. Okay. Uh, so multiple approach here.
Yes.
String.
Like so, first we have did reverse in string.
Okay, I think yes, you did it already. So great.
Yes.
L- So what your approach? I think this is a multiple approach. One approach is you have a start this value and print here, right? Last length character you can print here, then print here, then print here, then print here, then print here, right? This is the approach you did, or something different?
Yes, so this was the approach.
Yes. So let's do in the same in the instead of one by one you can write another code that will do reverse like in this way. Let us uh, we have a multiple content, and whenever you are reversing means ki last character you want to the here, and the same time you do first character at this place. One time you copy two character, first your last character to the first position and first position value copy to the last position. So one pass you can copy two character. This is the one, this is the last. Again, just your cursor move here and your cursor move here. This character copy here and this next character copy here. In one loop, you can copy two character. So what happen if your string so large, you are doing this calculation in a half loop, right?
It is
You
beneficial, like sir, when you discuss this method. Like there was one question in our last semester. It
mm,
was very similar to this.
okay. So let's try write
We
this code. Okay.
yes, yes, we will
You
try
write
this.
you write reverse function, not just copying one by character one. Why not we can copy the two character, first and last, first and last, first and last. So if your you can say your string length, if your string length is let's give 1,000 character, okay, so your loop run 1000 times, because you are just swapping one character, right? So instead of you are doing two, first and left and right both, then your loop run just half. You are getting the 1000 character reverse using the just 500 times loop. So your loop should be kind of half. Okay, let's try it. If it's else, if you, I think you can do. If anything doubt, I'll guide you. Okay.
Sir, we will simultaneously print the first value at the
Yes, we
last
have
and
to.
last at
Yes, you have to think. One loop, you have to copy two value. Last value is the first place and first value is the last place. So one loop, you copy two character. Let's try it. Okay. You think, okay, one problem have multiple solution. You just think. Let's try it. If any doubt, we'll discuss. Till now, any doubt, Khushpreet, what you need to do to reverse the string? You get one input, a string, and try to reverse. Reversing not one by one character, but one pass two character, so that your loop less than half, you can say. Okay. Till now, any doubt?
no, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. So next, we have to discuss about the question about how how to pass when we're writing any method. We can pass two things. Sometime you can pass one primitive value. Sometime you can pass an object. So what happened? So as you know, last we discussed, uh, object can anything. You can create your own object, or you can use any existing object. So let us we have write one method. The static void, and let us swipe function. Okay, swipe function. Let's here you can pass primitive x and primitive y, right? So now what you can say here, I have a two variable, I want to just swap. So you are passing the two variable and want to just swap it. So let us here we just know how to swap it. Okay, just hold one and x equal to y and y equal to t. Okay. If you invoke this, we have a two variable, integer a equal to 10 and integer b equal to 20. Okay. And you just invoke the swap function, pass a comma b. So if you print again a plus comma b, so what do you think? It will be swap or not swap? What will be the output?
It will swap, sir.
Yes.
It will
So
swap.
it will swap. Yes, Sprit, what do you think?
It will print A is equal to 20 and B is equal to 10.
This is the before method call and after method call. After method call, what will happen?
A 20 and B 10.
Okay. Yes, let's run it. What you are getting output? I'm getting C.
Yes, sir.
Here your assumption कि I pass two primitive number, I just swap, this value should be swap, but it's not happen.
Yes, but it is not returning something.
Yeah, this is the method void.
Yes.
So be sure whenever any method invoke with the primitive data types. Okay. So whenever you can store, this is your main method. Okay. Main method have a two variable primitive A and B. So here A variable hold the value 10. Okay. Again another B variable hold the value 20. Okay. You call swap. So swap whenever call, new stack will be created for swap method. Okay. And this A value copy to the X. Now here I have X variable hold value of your 10. And here you pass A, here you pass Y. So here Y variable hold the value of your 20. So whatever the A value, just copy to the X. What is the V value, just copy to the Y. Now here you change, and then you take temp variable, you store value of X. Value of X is equal to 10. You store 10. And you say X equal to Y. So X equal to Y. Now X become Y, this means this value are copy. Now this become a 20. Again say U equal to T. U equal to T means 10. You are past 10. Okay. Now your control goes to here. Now complete. This is the destroy stack. Now you in the main method and you say print AB. A is still 10, B is still 20. Here same print here, same print here. Reason is that all the primitive date value are copy by value. Whatever the value, this copy in this variable. Whatever value, this copy in this variable. And two stack, this is the main stack frame, this is the stack frame. Both are the independent. They are not sharing value. And whatever is inside this method, it will only visible inside this method, not outside of this method. If you print here, surely you printing the X and Y is equal to change. X plus Y. So inside method, it's visible. Okay? Whenever method call, at that time this in the swap function, it's visible, not in the problem. But in the main method, it's not visible because this method have own stack from. Now this value is the change. But here in main method, you are getting the same order. So till now clear, whenever you are passing any primitive values, they are pass means ki whatever the value of this variable is just copy to this variable. And till now it's clear, whenever this is known as your call by value.
Or sir, in a method swap, what if we write a return y and x?
Yes, you
Then it
can
will
return.
change it.
No. So this until you are not changing this value A and B, it will not change until you are not writing A equal to something, B equal to something.
Like we in this method of swap, we it swapped x and y from its position, and then we return y and x.
So you can
So,
return
so
what
then
A.
it will
No, it will not change anything. It will not change until you are not saying A equal to something. In this line, you are not saying A equal to like 99 or B equal to something 98. Until you are not changing the value, its value not change. A, B are the primitive value, its value not change until you are not assigning something here. Whatever they return, you return something, one value can return X and Y. Here you can return Y value, X value, right? Or you return array. Or you want to return an array, you can return array. If you want to return both values. But this value, whatever you are holding, okay, holding the X, this value will change, not A and B will change. This value is only change if you reassign something big.
Sorry, your voice is not clear.
Hello.
Can you internet issue again?
Uh, uh, it's not
It is
visible again.
clear.
Kushpreet, are you able to hear me?
It is clear
Hello.
now, sir.
Okay, great.
Yes, sir. Now it is clear.
Yes, sometime. So it's way until you are not reassigning value, you can this value even we will
Sir, when we call the method swap A and B, it is changing its position. Where it's changing?
its own method. So I just explain. This is the x and y. This is the local value of the methods. I again explain you.
Sir, why it's not coming?
I'm not speaking. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
I'm able to hear you.
Yes, sir. Now it is clear.
Okay. Uh, Sometime it's breaking my voice.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm trying to say whenever you run this code, this is your main method and this is your sub method. Okay. So this A, B value are stored in your main stack frame. Okay. A and B. And whenever you're calling the method swap, swap will change value is own stack frame X and Y. So both are the different stack frame, both are different memory. They can say whatever you do change X and Y will change the method, but this will not impact on your main methods or in any different. Whatever you do changing only impact inside your this method swap. Whatever the change value are not going any impact on your main methods this variable, right?
Yes, sir. Sir, what if we want to print the opposite values? Then which method we will run?
Cannot do this value cannot change until you are not basically changing something. Okay, so
Like the
let's
void methods, we can't store the value. We can't swap directly. But in case of the arrays, we can use this void like we use in the bubble sorting.
yeah. So let us see here. Now you want to swap these two. So somehow you have to make sharing. Let's this is your main stack frame and this is your swap method stack frame. So is there heap memory is your shareable resource for both? If something you create in this shared space, heap memory, generally all the objects are stored in heap memory. So if this method change something here and this method also get the same thing. So this is the object. So whenever you pass some object here and whatever the change in this method, if they have refer this shared variable and this is also refer the shared variable, you can do something. So let us same example. I write this two in my object. Let us I create one class uh, data class. Okay. A data class have a two variable integer a and integer b. Now we have a data constructor. Okay. Now I'm going to here now I am going to create one data object. Just let's I pass here 10 and 20. Okay. and if just s out, let's just override toString method. It will print your a and b value. Okay. So if you print this data object, you will print the value a and b. Now here previously this was primitive. Now you have an object. We have a data object that hold a and b 20 value. Let us write another source function that will take object. Let's write the same function like a, but it will take your one object, say data object. Now this data object have a and b. So here say data, say data dot let's key you want to get a. Just write the setter getter method. Okay, you can get a and get b. Instead of just I make as a public so that I can access. You can write getter setter, right? Or let's write I. Okay. Okay. Now we have a get and get say. In this swap data mux, I want to data dot get me a value, and then I say okay, best option should be like a. Let's for some time being I just make a public so that you can easily say what happened. Okay. So here I'm just say data dot get a and say data dot just a equal to data dot just b, and here say data dot b equal to data dot just t, whatever you have. Now here you swap. So here you just print your data dot a and data dot t. Here you also not returning anything, but you have a two variable a and b are changing. Now just invoke the swap function using the object.
Line 23 is wrong. 24. D dot B.
Okay, d dot a b. Yeah, incorrect.
Line 24, sir.
Yes, d dot a equal to this. Yes, data dot. Okay, sorry, data dot b. Okay, good. Thank you. So now, if you now again run this code, now you notice that let's print. Now you pass same data 10 and 20 in the form of object. The before and after, just check it. Just I am comment out here. So you notice first time your this data will print 10 and 20, and same this data I'm not reassigning. Just after this function call, I again print it, and you notice the value will change. Why change? Because we pass the object. Object can be shareable. Okay, and let's run it. Whenever your program start, it will create one data object. So this object is created in a memory, heap memory. So this is the main stack frame. They have a one reference variable data. This is the reference variable data, but object is created inside your memory. This is the one object created for your data, and data have a two variable a and b. This is the a and this is the b. You have assigned 10 and 20. Here this is the 10, here is the 20. Now you call the swap function. So whenever you call swap function new, now this is the point. Okay. Now we call swap function new stack frame is created for this swap function. Now here again have a day variable. So again have a d variable. So what d variable hold? Currently data, this data, this data is pointing to this. Now you pass the same data to here. Now this d variable also refer the same object. So let us here in the case of some address space here they have some address. This is the arrow means whatever the address of this memory block are stored here, right? Let's key address is a 1001. Okay. So this 1001 again copy for this here 1001 means ki same memory location both are refer. Now here you say create one temporary variable. Let's create one temporary variable. Okay. Hold the value of d of a. D of a is equal to 10. So you holding here value 10. Again you say कि d of a equal to d of b means कि d of a equal to d of b. This 20 assign here assign is 20. Again say कि d of b equal to 10. B position you डाल copy temp value. Temp is 20. So now this your method complete. This stack overflow is destroy completed. Now you come control go to the main method. Main method you prints again data. Again you printing the print data. Data is now changed. So in this case, your value is swapped, right? So this is the major differences between passing your primitive value and passing your object. Whenever passing a primitive value are only change in the stack frame. Okay, they have own copy x, own copy y, and changing the value here only. Whenever method complete, this stack is destroy. There is a no any impact on your main stacks.
Yes. So, sir, like similar is the case with the arrays
And
like we have
yes,
did. Similar
yes, array,
arrays are also objects.
yes, array is the object that is created inside a heap memory. So method invocation can happen in the both way. What one is the primitive data types and one is your object. So whenever you are passing object, please ensure that this object value can be changed in any method. Whatever you pass, whatever you change. So sometimes this is known as a call by references. You are just passing references here. Here say your call by value. Actually the 10 and 20 value you copy here in this swap method, right? X and Y become actual value. But here D is not actual value. D is the references of the particular object. And now here just if passing the reference to here, the D also referring the same memory location. So due to that, here you are getting the change value because this method is change your shared memory, shared object because you are passing the object references. So hope it will clear about what do you mean by call by value or call by references. Again, repeat whenever you call swap AB primitive data types are from this is the main method. Okay, this is the main method. You have a variable and b variable. So you have a variable which is value 10. We have a v variable which is value 20, and you call this swap function. Now, whenever you call swap function, new method states will created. Whatever the value pass a and b, just go x and y. So here this method have own x variable and own y variable. Here you copy x value is equal to 10 and y value is equal to 20. And in this swap logics, you change the logics. Now you change here the 20, here 10. So this will only change in this stack method stacks. Whenever this method control here, back agar main method, now this stacks frame is destroy. This will destroy. Again you invoke the create one new object. Now this still A and B. There is no any change. So you print here, you are getting A and B. There is no any change. But in the case of object, whenever you creating object here, data, data not hold any value 10 and 20. Data will create in your heap memory. Here your 10 and here your 20, AB, A and B. Whenever you call again swap method, new stack will created. But they what they copy here, they are, what is the D here? Let's keep this is the object have some address like 2001. So this data hold 2001. So they copy this address to here. So this data now have a 2001. 2001 means this memory references. So in both cases, whenever you method you pass primitive data types, they copy actual value. But in the case of object references, they have some memory address value, reference value, which refer to object. Those values are copied here. And again, this object refer to the same memory. And if you change something here, that means D change the same object. Now you change the 20, this is the 10. And after whenever method come here, this stack frame is destroyed. Now again you printing the data, you are getting the change value. So in the case of primitive data types, just impact on your local method. There is no any change happen on inside your call method from where the method is called. But in the case of object, when you pass reference, you pass this have a capability to change your shared by object. Object are shareable entity that can be shared by across the multiple method call. And any method have a capability change the value because your object offer to change the state. Due to this facility, you find now you are getting the change value here. Till now, any doubt or it's okay?
It's fine, sir.
So okay, let's you try it sometime.
Yes.
How you pass object, how you pass primitive, and what would be the impact.
Yes, sir.
So please be note that in the case of any array data structure, this is the by default. If you create primitive int like a, and here a like equal to here 1 comma 2. So please note this is the also object, and that's array is created inside a heap memory, and that is shareable. If you pass this a, that means you are not passing integer, you are passing the object, right?
Yes, sir.
So if you let's write, we have here like 10 and 20. Okay? Let us we have write one swap function that will swap your array. Here you can say primitive array. Okay? And here same you are getting the data of your zero position. Okay, and you are just changing data of zero position with the data of one position, or here you can say data of one position equal to t. Now you have a swap function. If you print here s out arrays dot to string a, eh, just invoke your swap function, swap that pass array. Okay? And you notice that this will also change your value, but this method does not return anyway. But you have a array is a shared data structure, and now this method can change the value. And now you notice that initially this value is the initially value 2020, but after swap does not return any value, but still you print the same variable, you are getting the change value because this is our object. Okay, so whenever your program run, you create one array of 10. So this a variable declare your local, but the value are stored in a heap. Value stored in a heap 10 and 20. Now you call swap function. This stack frame they have a d. A d again refer to your this same array. Now you change the d position equal to one position equal to d position. Now you change the value either here 20, here 10, and after the method come, this will destroy. But again you print the data same array. You are getting the change value because your swap function have changed the object. So is it not always say if any method is void, that means they are not any impact. They can impact if this is an object. They can change the state. They can change the value. And from where they call, this original A also changed. So here you are passing object. Here you are passing object. But here you are passing primitive value, not the object, not any reference. So in this method, whatever you're writing only impact in this method only. But in this case, you change the data object. So the data object will be changed. Here you change the array. Array is also object. That is object, the status is changed. So sometime someone might be C or C++. This is the concept call by value, call by reference, or call by object. In Java case, always calling one method and whatever you passing here, the actual whatever the value they contain, this just copy. Generally, always in Java happen call by value. If this primitive value, then primitive value copy. If there is some memory object and they have some addresses like 2001, so this 2001 also copy here in the case of method call. But both referring the same object. So internally you can say whenever you call any methods and whatever you value you pass, just those value copy to the local of this variable. But sometimes say call by value, call by reference, and call by methods. But never you passing this method anywhere. What is the address contain? This was just passing the address. And address also just like a copy. Similarly, like value, primitive value here copy. Similarly, address also copy. So in short case, Java always you copy the value of your whatever the your argument value, same in the parameter list. So this is known as a parameter. This is what the value is passing known as argument. Which argument here 10 and 20 A pass as argument. So let us explore plus and minus. Still any doubt we'll discuss. Or if you have a doubt question, please discuss now. Any doubt till now? How?
No, sir.
That's good. Let's play by yourself some plus minus and you figure out how it works. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So great. So we can close the call.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye bye.